Hello everyone, this is Vijay Kumar, and in this tutorial I'm going to talk about how to exploit a PostGIS database application using metasploit. In this video I'm going to hack my college database, that is my college web server, using metasploit, and I'll gain some access into the system. So just follow my tutorial. Firstly, I'm going to start with a couple of slides and I'm going to show you some hackers jargons. So here we go. So what are ports? Ports are basically some gateway to services running on some systems to the network host. Alright, so these ports are generally assigned to every service, a different port for every different service. So like for PostGIS there is a port number 5432, a default port for that, and for applications such as SMTP and HTTP, for SMTP it is 25 and for HTTP it is 80 or 8080. What is port scanning? Port scanning is generally a technique used by attackers to get the list of open ports. A payload is generally it is executed, it's a piece of code that is executed after a successful exploitation. Exploitation is something where you take advantage of a vulnerability in the victim's machine and you just exploit it using a code, that is an exploit code. Alright, so what is a shell code? Shell code is a piece of code that is written in assembly language generally that gives the shell of the victim's machine, or shell, or you can call it a terminal of a victim's machine, to the attacker. Metasploit is a module in or advanced payload in Metasploit. Metasploit framework is a tool that we use to hack. I'm going to demonstrate it after a couple of slides. Metasploit is a payload, advanced payload, where you can change you can load multiple payloads into it. You don't have to change the payloads now and then. Now, these are 5 phases of hacking, where information gathering, scanning, exploitation, maintaining access, and clearing logs. Information gathering is a phase where an attacker collects information about the victim or the target. There are 2 types of information gathering. There is one called active and another is passive. An active information gathering is where the information regarding the security measures of the victim are collected, and the passive is where the social engineering and dumpster driving are performed to obtain information. In scanning is just like we use some sort of tools. In this tutorial I'm going to scan it using Nmap to find the vulnerabilities in PostGIS database application. Exploitation is generally exploit, as I spoke a couple of slides back. Exploit is a piece of code that is used to take advantage of a vulnerability in a application. So exploitation is using that exploit code and taking advantage of that and gaining access into the victims or the target's machine. This is where the real hacking or cracking begins. Maintaining access is the phase where a hacker, once he exploits the system and gains access into it, for future access he just plants a backdoor or a Trojan. Clearing logs, this is a very important phase, because once an attacker hacks into the system, there are some tracks that remain in the system, like the IP address of the system that is it was connected to. So clearing logs is a very important important phase to avoid getting behind bars. Scanning, there are various tools for that. In this we use Nmap for scanning the network, and the information obtained are like the open ports, the applications running on the ports. There are demons in the sense the services running at the open port. Next we go to exploitation. Exploits, as I spoke before, there are some sort of codes that take advantage of the vulnerability in the system. There are a bunch of exploits for the bunch of vulnerabilities. So there is a different exploit for every different vulnerability, and there are many exploits in exploitdb.com. In a tool such as Metasploit framework, it makes us very much easier for us to hack. It is a collection of payloads, it's a collection of exploits, modules, various tools, scanners, etc. We are going to use Metasploit framework for this demonstration. Here is the Nmap screenshot for when I scan my college database. Here it is. You can see it's PostGIS database 8.1.11 to 8.1.17 version. That is vulnerable because the currently version which we are like latest version the time of making this video is 9.1 something something. So there is some exploit for this PostGIS SQL. I've mentioned here. The exploit we are going to use for this is exploit slash linux slash postgis underscore payload, and the interpreter as a payload. So that is, we are going to set a payload linux slash x86 interpreter blind underscore tcp payload. All right, we are going to launch metasploit using msf console, and yes, we are going to start the exploitation phase. Hello guys, I've just started my Ubuntu machine. I've started metasploit framework. This is the exploit. I'm copying it. I'm going to use the exploit. Paste it. I'm going to set the payload. Just copy that. Paste it. I have some problem with the screen recorder in Ubuntu. Now I'm going to set the R host. That is 172.20.0.1. and now I'm going to check the options. All the required stuff are given, are provided with. Now I'm going to exploit it. You can just see the interpreter session has started. So we have the complete access of the web server now. These are the commands, various modules, where various modules have already been loaded, such as the std API. Now I'm going to check the system info. Here it is, Linux. There is some problem with the get system command. I guess it doesn't work with Linux. Get priv, but it shows operation failed. I guess that doesn't work. I'll just skip this and check my present working directory, that is var library pgsql and data. These are the files and folders present in this directory. Now I'm going to go back. I want to go into var folder. I'm going to check the list of folders and files present in this directory. Let's get into www. Now let's check the files in it. Oh, I'm interested in the HTML folder. Let's get into that. Here is the OIS, that is the online information system of my college. Now I'm interested in downloading the dbconnect.php. I guess I'm going to get the database applications username and the password. Now I'm going to download the OIS, the entire OIS online information system of my college. So here we go. We have downloaded a PHP, mail.php, and then a file. Oh my god. This is working very well, isn't it? Oh, we have a list of files, bunch of files.
Looks great. Hey, Metasploit session has closed. I I don't know what's the problem, but let's close it over here. It was pretty cool, isn't it? Let's get back to MSF. Uh, yes, we're here. That's it for now. Keep watching for more tutorials. Thank you.